Learning how to play your favorite songs can be a lot of fun, but what if you really want to just write your own music? And if you want to write music, the first step is finding the right chord progression for your song. Well, how are you supposed to find the right chords? You've got three options. Your first option is to steal a chord progression from an existing song. Hopefully that song is old enough or the chord progression is generic enough that no one's gonna sue you. I can use it however I want, it's in the public domain. Your second option is to call yourself an avant-garde artist and make beautiful tapestries of noise. Cheeseburger communism diorama. Someone's gotta do it. Or hear me out, there's door number 3. And that's to learn how chords work together to build and release tension. For the purposes of this lesson, we're just going to be talking about the key of C major. This applies to every key, but C major has no sharps and flats, and assuming you're learning your way around the neck, it'll be the easiest to digest. Like all of the diatonic keys, the key of C major has 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to 1. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. 7 notes, and repeat. We can build a simple 3-note chord off of any one of these notes. That means if you start with a good old-fashioned C major chord, you've got 6 options for what you can play next. You can go C major to D minor, C to E minor, C to F, C to G, C to A minor, and you can go C to B diminished, but we're going to pretend B diminished doesn't exist because it's weird and it's hard to explain how you should use it. For now, we're just going to stick with the major and the minor chords. Sorry, B diminished. Any 2 chords within the same key can fall into one of 3 relationships. They can either share no notes in common, they can share 1 note in common, or they can share 2 notes in common. When 2 chords don't share any notes in common, they create a feeling of uncertainty. Where do we find these uncertain chords? Well, you find them 1 step above or 1 step below your starting chord. So if we start from C major, we can go up 1 to D minor, or we can go down, B diminished, I told you to go home. So for example, if we go back and forth between C major and D minor, I was feeling pretty good till I stepped on some gum, and now I just don't know. You get the feeling it doesn't know where it wants to go. When 2 chords in the same key share 2 notes in common, the chord change is going to sound neutral. These neutral chord changes are found 2 scale degrees above or below the starting chord. So if we're starting from C major again, we go up 1 and we go up 2. So that's E minor. Or we go down 1, 2, and that's A minor. You sort of get the feeling that this could go on forever. It's just sort of this endless loop. It feels a little uncomfortable, but nothing too crazy. They call me Mr. Neutral. I have no opinions. The third and final type of chord relationship that are 3 notes above or 3 notes below the starting chord is what I call a directional chord change. And I call it directional because it pulls one way or the other. Again, starting from C, that'd be C, 1, 2, 3, F, or C, 1, 2, 3, which is our G major chord. So that's a perfect 4th and a perfect 5th above our starting chord. Now, if we just go back and forth between C and F, it feels like it wants to go somewhere else. I got a big idea, and I'll tell you about it soon. But it's pulling us in a direction. And the secret to resolving a chord progression is knowing where your 5 chord is. In the key of C major, our 5 chord is G. So if we go from C to F, I got a big idea, and I'll tell you about it soon as I get back to this C chord. What do we do now that we know these relationships between the chords in a single key? In my opinion, it's not very useful as a starting point. More so if I'm working on a piece of music and the chords don't seem to fit the melody or the feeling I'm going for, I can go back to these ideas and say, well, am I trying to create a feeling of uncertainty? Am I trying to create a feeling of neutrality? Am I trying to make the music pull me along in a certain direction? These are 3 different types of tension, and you can rely on any of them in writing your own music. I think the best way is just to experiment. Start with a C chord and explore your options. And once you start learning your way around the guitar neck and you know what chords are in which keys, you can apply these ideas and start writing some really cool music. If you found this video helpful, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you back here for my next video.